ever been in a conversation, maybe with your boss, a colleague, or your partner, and suddenly you feel so overwhelmed and frustrated that only you can fight back your tears? You're trying to explain your point, to feel understood, to be clear, but tension keeps building up. You feel unheard, you feel dismissed, you feel everything all at once. And then it happens. From the corner of your eye, a tear escapes. And what does the other person do? They smirk and they say, "Oh, now you're gonna cry." And just like that, everything you just said, your logic, your arguments, your clarity, they are all erased just because you cried. Because we've been taught that once we cry, we've lost the battle. You are too emotional. You are unstable. You are no longer powerful. We live in a culture that glorifies intense emotional control. For women, if you show anger, then you are being violent. If you're too happy and bubbly, then that's annoying. And if you show too much love, then you're being too needy. We are allowed to cry in private, but if we cry in public, then we are being manipulative. And God forbid we cry in the middle of a rational conversation, because then apparently once tears show up, your reasoning no longer counts. And let me not even speak about men. Men are taught from a very young age not to cry. By the age 5 or 6, they already correlate tears with weakness. Research published by the American Psychological Society, as well as the University of Cambridge, has confirmed that emotional expression is different between the genders, not because of biology, but because of socialization. And by adulthood, many men are left with one single valid emotion to express: anger. But let's remember one thing. Crying is not weakness. Crying is not failure. Crying is biology. Crying is one of the most human things we do. It's an intuitive, healthy way our bodies self-regulate emotional overload. In fact, emotional tears have a different chemical composition than reflex tears, than when something gets stuck in your eye. Emotional tears contain stress hormones like cortisol and prolactin, demonstrating that their release helps you process tension. Studies by the University of Tilburg, as well as research published by the American Psychological Association, also indicates that crying activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the one that is responsible for calming you down, and even may trigger the release of feel-good chemicals like oxytocin and endorphins. But here's the trick. Whether or not crying actually helps you depends a lot on the environment you cry in. Because crying, the way we see it, is not universal. Some cultures accept it as a valid way to release grief or joy or connect even, whereas in other cultures, it's seen as something private, a taboo even. How we confront tears depends a lot on where you come from, how you were raised, and what you were taught to think about emotions. So next time you see someone cry, don't tell them not to cry. Don't hand them a tissue just to rush them and make it end. If your tears are met with care, with support and presence, there is a higher potential that they will be soothing, healing. Now, crying is not a glitch in the system. Crying is the system. It's the way your body tells the words you can't. And speaking about the body, when you cry, have you noticed how your breathing changes? That 2 inhale and a long exhale. That's called a physiological sigh. And it's actually one of the most effective techniques to regulate your nervous system. Research by the Stanford University confirms that the physiological sigh, the breath we do naturally when we're crying, is the most controlled breathwork technique that helps you activate your mood and regulate stress. So next time you feel like crying, just let it out. Don't hold it in. Let it flow. And if someone cries in front of you, Don't say anything. Don't try to fix it. Just witness it. That is enough. Because crying doesn't mean we've lost the battle. Crying is a way of self-expression. It's a way of self-care. Look at it as your nervous system helping you. Crying means that you're still connected to yourself, to your body, to your truth. And that, I think, that is power. Thank you.